that's in here that we want to help our people out and make some things happen too. So what's the next on that deal? We got Dolly Parton out the way. What we talking about?
Okay. I don't know if you took the clip or whatever. I was asking you about the clip from Vlad, but I was tripping off Akon because I was supportive of Akon music or whatever, and Akon tripped me out recently when he said, "Black people need to get over slavery."
Okay.
Black people need to get over slavery, and like, we don't need to have the thought process of reparations. You know what I mean? When all the other countries or whatever got reparations, all the other, not countries, but all the other nationalities or whatever races got reparations from the United States. But Akon, a black man, an African man, who took a $6 billion loan from China to build up synagogue or whatever, where he's from, he said that black people need to get over slavery. He said over here we too ingrained in slavery. We too, like, we think about it too much.
Yeah, because he mentioned about Africans don't longer think about it. So you ready to hear it right now? Y'all ready to hear it? We're gonna play it right now.
Sir. Yeah.
It's from Vlad TV right here.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man.
How do Senegalese really feel about slavery and what happened? Because, you know, there were a lot of very foul people involved in the slave trade. There was, of course, Europeans, you know, Jews and whites were involved, but, you know, Africans were involved in it as well. They were selling off their enemies, you know, the enemy tribes and making their money and so forth. Like, how was slavery really looked at out there?
Well, in Senegal, we've kind of overcome the thought of slavery. We don't even think about it. The only time we think about it, honestly, is when we're doing tours at Goda Island. You know, outside of that, people have lived and moved and way beyond the slavery concept and idea and mind state.
Right, because in Senegal, you actually know your history. You can trace your family back 100 generations, whatever else. You still have your names, your real names. You're not named Johnson
and Jackson
and Washington and all the other slave owners that were the presidents who had slaves during that time, Jefferson,
you know,
and so forth. Yeah, but you guys actually have your history. And that was the whole thing of walking around Senegal. People just felt, this was the first time I felt black people just felt comfortable and with no type of disease. You know, I mean.
I think it's also the art of just letting the past go. And moving towards the future. And I think in the US, they have this stigma of just not letting go of the past and blaming the past on every mishap or, you know, disappointment. And I think as long as you hold on to that past, it's just a lot of weight that you carry with you everywhere you go. And it's hard to move forward and move fast when you got to, you know, weight on your back. You just got to let it go.
There's also been no reparations. And there's been, you know.
Yeah, but unfortunately, man, like, it's not like America is going to take the initiative to do it. I mean, otherwise they would have did it already, you know? Indians got reparations. The Jewish got reparations for Holocaust, and it wasn't even done in America.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Italians got reparations.
Italians got reparations.
Japanese.
I mean, Japanese got reparations.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, it's to the point now where African Americans have to really understand their worth and realize that America was never or intended to ever, you know, consult or even make up for any of that. They're not sorry. They don't care.
Yeah.
It's obvious. So do you want to stay here and continue to be treated this way, or just go back home where you're now no longer the minority? You actually are the majority and you control your destiny and your future and your land.
Yeah, no. Honestly, every black person who has an issue.
So what's your thoughts on it, Trail? Pausa?
I think when he was talking about the past and the future, I think he was absolutely correct on that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Slavery or whatever, it's hard for people to get over it. It's hard because we, like, the country was dealing with it for 400 years. And I equivalent things to relationships. Like, if I'm in a relationship with a woman for 5 years and I love her for real, it's going to take me some time to get over it. You know what I mean? If I was a slave for 400 years, you ain't going to get over slavery in 50 years. But what he's saying, though, is that we got to let go of the past, learn to let go of the past if we want to make things happen now and further on in the future. And I agree with that.
What y'all think? What comments we got on there? Somebody commenting on that. What y'all think about that? Do we need it? Do people need to get over it? Is it something we need to continue to keep visiting, or is it a mindset thing?
Well, somebody said that's real. Like LaQuisha Thompson said that's real. You know what I mean? But I would like for her to go more in depth with what's real, though. You know
Quisha, call in. Call in, man. Because I want to know what your thoughts are, lively. Because let me tell you this. I truly get where he's coming from, but it's just like a relationship, man. Like you said, it's like a relationship. If you getting abused in a relationship all the time, I remember seeing in person, when I was with one of my family friends and his sister, we went to his sister's house. I was like 9 years old. And then we went to Western Heights, matter of fact. And we sitting there laughing and kicking and giggling and everything. Now they were grown. I was just there, just a kid that tagged along. And her husband came in the house and just went in. So the brother that I was with, actually, he's a grown man. He walked out. He said, "Troy, let's go." And I said, "Man, I walked out stunned. Like, what, you're not gonna do nothing? He ended up beating your sister up." He said, "Troy, we done shot this man. We done ganged him. We done beat him up. We done all this." And she keep going back. So she keep going back and deciding to keep going back. The mental state right there basically is saying that there's nothing we gonna be able to do until she make up her mind.
Yeah.
So with that being the case, just like with the slavery situation, if we're going to continue to keep, being okay with being abused and keep bringing up the past and stuff, which is true, we're going to continue to keep getting abused about it, and nothing's going to ever change. And one thing I did agree with what Akon mentioned was the fact that the U.S. was not made. When you got to really think about it, it was not created for a black person in general. So when it come down, was America ever great in their mind? Say yeah, because it was made for the fact that Europeans coming over here and taking over, Spaniards coming over here and taking over. Christopher Columbus was an Italian working with Spain. He just wanted somebody to invest in his company going on this voyage. And he found it on accident. So you can't be upset that nothing is set up for you. Now of course you're making things happen by trying to make the playing field a little even, but it can't. Now in Africa, of course, what he said, where you got the majority, that's where you want to go because you're the majority. But then think about it. Why would I want to go somewhere as the majority and everybody's still broke?
Except for a couple of people. Now
you got areas, don't get me wrong. You got areas in the continent of Africa. There's South Africa, you got great examples of things like that, places, but there's majority of the countries and that continent in general is looked at as like, nah, I don't want to go there. How often do you say I want to go? I mean, I want to go to Congo on a vacation, man. Nobody's going there now.
I never wanted to go to Congo.
Did you ever want to go to South Sudan?
The only part of Africa that, let me not be like that, but the main part of Africa that intrigues me is Egypt. I want to go to Egypt.
But you definitely don't want to go to Egypt, though. Besides Corona.
I want to go to Egypt.
Yeah, you want to. And guess,
I love Egypt. I want to go see.
I got you. You got the pyramids like that, and hopefully they keep everything restored. But when you're the majority, I'm talking about now. When you talking about the continent, I asked my wife about this the other day. We got there's the most resources, natural resources in the continent of Africa. How in the world can that not be looked at as like, hey, we got the freaking vibranium.